This, I feel, is just too bright. That seems just right. So I posted in the Patreon a few days ago, and in the post, I said, I think I want to share this with everybody about DENT, cryptocurrency DENT, DENT. And that coin is one that I got into early last year, ICO, and I got this thing ICO for like fractions of a penny, 0.000, I told myself if it ever get up to a penny, 1 penny, I'll sell it all. As I'm sitting there watching it go to 3 cents. And I remembered, I've been through this before where I sell something, think I made a killing on it, and in all fairness, I did really well, only to find out it did much better. That happened with some PayPal I had. I had 2 stacks of PayPal. This is long time ago. Happened with PayPal. And with PayPal, it was the equivalent of having something that went up pretty nicely to $15,000. And then if I would have waited, it would have went up to the equivalent of $90,000. But even going up to $15,000 was a good profit from where I got in on this one particular stack. My other stack, I'm still hodling. I haven't touched it. But and then Populous, again, 37 cents, something like that. I can't remember the exact price. Sold out around $5. It ran up to $70. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that again. So I see DENT past a cent, past 2 cents, 3 cents, and I think though, wouldn't hurt to take a little profit. I'm calculating if I take 25% of this in profit, or sell my 25% of my holdings of DENT, and I'm calculating what I had. It was multiples and multiples and multiples and multiples of my entire DENT investment if I only sold 25% off right now. And I'm like, this is a no-brainer. I need to do this. Don't sell the rest of it off because you learned your lesson last time. Prices kept going higher. And I'll be damned, they went to 10 cents. And at that point, I was this close to being able to pay my house off that we'd only been living in for a few months at that point, right? With just DENT. I'm like, oh my God, because it was just doing so great. 10 cents? Well, this thing is now, recently, I haven't looked this morning, but whatever, it's around 2/10 of a penny. This is like back, not quite where I bought in. I think I bought in a little less than that the original time. But it went to 10 cents, and it's not even 1 penny. If it was 1 penny, it needs to go times 10, right, to get back there. But it's not. It's 2/10 of a penny. So basically, I think my calculation was like a 50 times return if it does go back to where it was at some point. And this is one of those coins where I feel like as their technology progresses, people start using their phone app, which, by the way, is increasing every single week still. There's going to be a point when there's no choice for DENT to go up. Whether the market's doing it or not, like DENT's going to have to run up at some point. So I have a friend that messaged me who's very close and watching and talks to the owners of DENT, Anyway, so I'm going to read you what I wrote. And yes, I just got back into DENT. My original plan, and I've said this before, by the way, you probably remember, I said, I'd like to ride these cryptos up with the next run up, and then take some nice profits off that, see what the price of DENT is. Hey, that thing's still low, let's jump some of that profit over into that. That thing starts going up, holy crap, like we timed that one great. That was my plan. I just don't know if DENT's going to be one of the ones that hangs behind when the market starts going up. So, after hearing this, I said, the hell with that. I bought more red coin than I needed, to be honest with you, and then some more. Some more, I grabbed that and threw it all in the DENT. and then I still have a decent amount of red coin. So I said we need to talk about DENT. Remember when I sold the remaining DENT I had a while back? I said I would love to be able to ride some up. I just told you that. Well, we may not have, I'm not sure, but we may not have that opportunity to do that, and we may see DENT rise with the rest of the market, or we may see DENT rise due to some other news not related to why the rest of the market's going up. And then the other side of this is, what if the market starts going up and there's all of a sudden DENT's doing its thing at the same time? That's like a double whammy, right? There's all kinds of possibilities. But I don't know. Bottom line, I bought it, tell them about the red coin story. I sold some of that red coin. And again, I bought a lot of red coin and then the extra. Like the extra part, sold that. So there's a video I end up putting in this link. If I can remember when I get to work, I'll try to put the link up for you guys. But this is the gist of it, okay? What I cannot tell you of is when DENT might blast off on its own legs. I don't know. But what I feel like I can comfortably say is that when it does go, it might be crazy good. DENT is on Binance, but it's not on Bittrex, by the way. Current price is 0.2 of a penny. Don't forget, this coin previously got up to 10 cents. I will be doing a public video about this next week, because again, this is what I told them. I was like, I know I'm giving it to you guys first, but I don't want to. I feel like I need to tell everybody about this, just because. So his email to me: there are currently 4.3 million registered users. That's a lot of people. Of the DENT app, each with a DENT crypto address. Keep in mind, DENT is a phone app that if you roam, where your fees would be expensive, if you have DENT, the DENT app, you can buy DENT coins, which then convert to minutes on your phone. So it's say you could buy, I'm only gonna be out of town a week. Let me buy $20 worth of DENT, convert it, boom. Now you're using the local phone carriers without being raped and pillaged. Not to mention, whether you roam or not, DENT might be one of these things where people in third world countries and whatever, who do have cell phones, by the way, decide this is better, easier, cheaper for them to to pay their phone bill. Anyways, there are 4.3 million registered users of the DENT app, each with a DENT crypto address locked in the app. The number of users has been steadily increasing at around 175,000 new people per week without any mainstream advertising. Out of the app, there is only 23,000 DENT accounts for exchange trading, such as for CoinMarketCap. Speaking with Miko, which is the co-founder on Telegram, this guy has been, with the DENT exchange, that the in-app accounts, 7 million, they think, by the year's end, will be available to trade on exchanges. Because again, 175,000 a week, end of the year, 7 million people, and will be available to trade on exchanges and show up on CoinMarketCap. Price-wise, after the 850 million DENT coins that were stolen off of the CoinRail exchange users, DENT, of course, plummeted. So DENT has been hit extra hard because of stolen tokens. Look at this, since you're not the one who got stolen, as holy crap, this is a bonus for me. It got hit harder than it should have because of the stolen tokens. CoinRail was the #1 market, by the way, for DENT. What Andre and Miko did, those are the two guys, was to take DENT out of their own account and actually reimbursed whoever got their DENT stolen. Now, this is a J-Snip 4 maneuver right there. Let me help these guys out. That's what the guys did from this company that created DENT. Tried to make these people whole again. Now the Koreans love DENT, but not CoinRail. Andre is talking with 7 Korean exchanges about putting DENT on their exchange systems. And he says remittance, think like XLM. DENT is currently focused on third world with many users who are unbanked. Most do have cell phones and transact with them. DENT will be partnering with an exchange money provider, think Western Union type of company, to provide remittance across the world. These guys have been setting everything up under the radar. They have done little to no interviews, which now is paying off. The copycat coins such as Telcoin and KeepGo have been unable to even get a look in. Less than 8 weeks, DENT X will be going live. I, like you, sold out and took impressive profits, well over 50 times. I was buying these babies on Ether Delta, 1 million of them for 1 ETH at one stage. Last September and October, he says. So that was my post. Now I can drive to work. Again, hopefully this camera's, now that I got in the cup holder, is a little bit better. And got my side-by-side behind me. You can kind of see it through the back window there. I'm taking it to one of these, power motorsports, whatever, power sports stores. I bought a snorkel kit because when I was out at that place, I was telling you about that place called River Ranch, where you got just like miles and miles and miles of just outdoor wilderness here in Florida. Could be a little swampy at times, could be, some puddles that are a little deeper than you think, and that kind of thing. So I went out there with one of my kids the first time, and I didn't get real deep, but it did come up to the floorboards a couple times real quickly, going through like a little puddle area. What I call a puddle, that's not really a puddle when it's, that thing, I'm trying to think how high it is. I have a 3-inch lift kit and some bigger tires, 28-inch tires, instead of the 26s that came on it. Took those off, got the, I want to get it higher off the ground, because when I go to the treasure hunt thing, the guy that lives over there says you need to at least be like a full foot of clearance off the ground, and you need about 12 inches. I said, alright, so I think in the center it's about 16 inches, 16 and a half maybe inches. So I'm like, alright, I'm good there. So long story short, up to, where your floorboard, that's probably more than 16 inches. But I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe it's around there, I don't know. So we got some water up to that point. I'm like, my luck would be I hit one of these puddles or something, and it's really deep, and it gets up to the damn, the air inlet tube or whatever, which is above the engine, but not that high, much higher above the floorboard where some of the, not some of the, but where the air intake is. So I said, last thing you want to do is make a mistake, suck in water, your engine's finished, it's done. Brand new, vehicle here, and I don't like doing that stuff. Like, you'll never find me taking that thing in the mud holes where people just get, full of mud, because there's a little playpen area where they do that at this place, where that's all it is. I just look, it doesn't matter how much money someone had, or me, or if I was filthy rich or something. I'm just not. I just feel like I'm abusing my stuff. I'm not the kind of guy to abuse my stuff. But I want to go out, I want to go down the trails, have a good time. But I don't want to go out there and just tear my stuff up and just kind of destroy it, like get filthy money and all that. And so, long story short, I'm taking this thing to a power sports store. I found a snorkel kit. It was only like 200 something bucks. And if you do it yourself, people are like, oh, it takes about 3 hours. Well, this store, when they do it, they've got the little smoke kits or steam kits or whatever it is, where when they're finished and they seal it all off, all the tubes, because it's not just tightening stuff down, it's like sealing stuff off when they install the kit. Then they do the little smoke test to, double, triple check that there's absolutely nowhere that they didn't tighten down enough or put the sealant, in or missed a spot. I can't do that. And again, if I put this thing together myself and missed a little spot, or water seeped in somewhere, and the next thing I know I accidentally got somewhere too deep, well, there goes the whole point. Turn this off now. It's getting a little bit more light out. So anyways, that's why I got this thing towing behind me. I'm gonna drop it off. I think they said they'd take it for a day or two, and then I'll come pick it back up. They were willing to put the parts on, just charge me the labor. So I said, oh, what the hell? Again, just, You don't want to be out there and make a mistake like that. You can't see how deep a puddle is sometimes unless you're absolutely familiar with the area. But even that, who's to say someone didn't come out there in one of their damn swamp buggies? I mean, these are like, mini monster trucks that run around out there, that they're made, homemade, big, tall things. Who's to say someone didn't get in one of those, get into the puddle or whatever you're familiar with, and then just sit on there and spin the back tires in there and dig it out a little more, for fun, some redneck fun. And then you go in there again later, holy crap, this thing's freaking foot deeper or something, like what the hell happened? Don't want that. So got a snorkel kit, haven't put it on, and the particular Polaris I got is it's called a Ranger, and it's a crew cab, so it seats 6 people. It's the XP Ranger 1000. I was looking at the 800s because I'm like, I don't need the most powerful thing out there. It should be fine. But a lot of the stores had the 2018s, the ones that hadn't sold yet, on a nice little discount. And this particular one, not only was that one of the 2018s, it was one of the only last ones I could find anywhere around here that was still in stock. It had a roof already on it, had a windshield on it, had a winch already on it. And I'm like, oh man, these are all things I was wanting to get on mine. So it's already got it. And it's at a nice discount. So I said, you know what, let me scoop this thing up, trade those jet skis in for it, basically. And, kind of the rest is history. But it's got to have some power. When I was talking about Buddy Joe, he's like, if there's a bunch of us in this thing going up some of these steep, hills and washouts and stuff, and we're going to have some gear and things with us, talking about, if we treasure hunt. He's like, because I was looking at a 570 model, he goes, man, I'll be honest, I don't think that's enough power to really do what we need. So I said, all right, let me start looking at the 800, because the 570s, boy, with the discounts on those. And that's probably why. So I would have liked to have gotten the 800, because it had plenty of power for what we would ever need. But there was none of them. The only one remaining left was the 1000. Or maybe there was an 800, but it didn't have all the stuff added onto it already. And I'm like, well, the discount just is right with the 1000. What the hell? Because I also think about gas mileage. If I'm going out somewhere, you're gonna get better gas mileage on an 800 than a 1000, right? Just the way it goes. So I'm thinking of that too. I don't need the most powerful thing. I just need something that'll get the job done, that does what I need. So, anyways, you hear any banging around the trailer and all that. That's the other thing. I got this trailer, and I went to this trailer store, and this was right before I picked this thing up, and because I knew I'm gonna need. I'm looking at these things. I'm gonna have to get a trailer, and I go to this trailer store not too far from my job. And I'm looking around what they got. It's all new stuff. And he's showing me a couple of trailers. He's like, oh, here's I think it's a 16. A 16. I'm looking over what he's showing me, and I'm looking at 12 by 6s, 14 by 6.5 or 7. All right, that's cool. That would easily fit this thing. I think a 12 by 6, you'd have a couple inches on each side of the tires, maybe. It'd be a tight fit, and it would just barely fit on the trailer, from what I understand. So, but I'm like, that's fine, that's all I need. And I'm looking at stuff, and then I'm looking at this trailer. I can tell it's not brand new, but it looks pretty good, pretty new. I'm like, whoa, I was like, what's that over there? He goes, oh, that's kind of like an ATV tip trailer, where the sides come off the front. You could ride an ATV up on the side, plus you can pull the ramp down the back and ride something up there too. I'm like, oh, no kidding. I'm like, holy crap. Well, how much is that one? It's like $1,600. 16 by 7. And it's a 2018. It was manufactured in late 2017. They got it, I think, on a trade-in or something. It was practically brand new. It's still a 2018 trailer. And I'm like, all right, well, throw in I need a particular trailer hitch for this one, so I need, it's a bigger ball than normal. So I'm like, give me one of those, give me a spare tire, tax and all that, tag, next thing I know, it's about $2,000, but got that thing. And when I went to River Ranch, came back, it was the second time actually we went, because I took my wife and 2 of my kids over there. And then we came back, But before that, I noticed, quite a lot of rattling noise on the trailer. So when I went and looked at it, the little inside fender or whatever of the trailer, it's got dual axles, by the way. Another bonus why I was like, I got to get that one. But the inner fender well, it's just welded, thin metal, but it's popping out all over the place. All the welds are breaking on the thing. I'm like, oh crap. And I'm thinking, all I need is this thing to fall off, get bound up in the tires, chew the the tires up. And I look on the other side, it's almost as bad as the other side. Maybe 1 or 2 weld spots are holding, but the others aren't. So it's, so I'm like, well, I bought one of those little cheap welders at Harbor Freight a long time back when I first moved into the house, actually. It's a little wire-fed one, but it's 110 volt, so it's not real heavy-duty amp. But anyways, I'm not a welder. I tried, and I thought a couple spots, like, oh, I think I did pretty good here. Because I know what it looks like. I used to be a mechanic. My boss used to weld up mufflers and things like that. I know what a good weld looks like. Nice bead, as they say, but you would not have been too impressed with Snip's welding. Now Joe, the movie guy, he can weld. He's good. But he's in California, and I can't ask him, hey, can you come over real quick and help me weld this? No. Long story short, the second time we went to River Ranch and back, all my handiwork was no longer handy. Popped back out. Even the ones I thought were pretty decent, like, nope. Sorry about your luck, J-Snip. Damn. So I brought it the other day to work, just the trailer. I've been looking on Google Maps, a nice welding place, whatever. I go to where it says there's nothing there but some little tiny car lot. I'm like, what the hell is this? There's nothing here. There's nothing there. There's nothing on the screen. Yeah, to play us out. So I just like, oh, I'll go across the street. Maybe it's over there. It's not there. I keep going. Oh, welding shop. Completely different name. It's not the same company. All right, I pull in. They're like, well, normally we'd have you drop it off, but man, I could weld that up in about 10 or 15 minutes. Just pull in here. So, minimum half hour, $50, whatever. I was fine with it. And he done welded it right. So it's ready to go. And I'm ready to go to, do the treasure hunt. Although we're getting close to November and it can get a little cold because we ain't talking southern Florida. Although it's not really a northern state either, this particular one we're looking at. But there is a mountainous area, and you know how it is. You go up, thousands of feet or whatever it is, the mountains. Well, it can get cold in October and November, for sure. So I'm starting to wonder: are we even gonna pull this off this year? Is it gonna be next year? Maybe the spring time frame. And I'm okay with that too. I just want to go. But if I have a choice, I want to go. I want to go now. Who wants to wait, man? This is exciting. I'm ready to go. Let's do this, man. Let's do it. So, anyways, yeah, and Sharon, she did another, Sharon Michelle, did another post, Patreon, just saying, she goes, I was just going to kind of tell you how I see November going, not necessarily for crypto, because she's already said what she had to say about that. But, she does feel, again, financial markets, everything. Like, I know Bull Pony and everyone, Marius is expecting this big crash, it's biblical, this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing the video, I see this data, and I see, hey guys, look. But I feel, we're in a different time now. And like Janet Yellen had said, remember this? And this was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? She said something like, we may never have stock crashes anymore going forward. Remember that? She made a comment like, we may never have that anymore. Based on, the tools and things that we're able to do these days and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, are they, kind of sort of telling us, like, you're never going to have a stock market crash the likes of which you may have expected before? I don't know, but everything that we expected and waited for, sure, we had a nice crash in 2008, but it was not nearly as bad as it could have been. And it was after that recovery, where we're at now, honestly should have already crashed again. So since it hasn't already crashed again, and we know the elite like to be the ones that do this, and they're scared right now, according to Lindsey Williams, to do anything with Trump in power, and they know he's going to get a second term. I mean, to me, that maybe we're not gonna go into the $30,000 or $40,000 Dow. You know, we're in the high 20s now, or mid 20s, 25,000. Maybe we're about to see some Republican stuff, you know, cleaning house November 6th. Things just get rolling again. Okay, the stock market's back, you know, happy again. Cryptos, holy crap, they've definitely run up now finally, you know, something like that. I don't know. I've learned to say, you know, to say, you know, I know what makes sense. I know what the alarm bells, if you will, are telling me. But this is not the same world we used to live in. And they may not want this thing to crash right now for a number of years like they used to. Because again, Trump's in power. And what happens, I was talking to someone last night, I said, what happens if Lindsey Williams, you know, where he said the elite, you know, they're waiting for Donald Trump to get out of office, and they know he's going to get 2 terms, so they're just going to wait. You know, he says you got 6 years right now to just soak it up, enjoy it. You know, to just prepare for after that. You know, just take the money you're going to get, the stock increases and everything. Take it and get ready to deal with it in the coming years to prepare for when he's out of office, because that's when they're going to move forward again. They're going to pop all these bubbles. They could pop them all right now, but they don't dare do so. Because they know Trump won't be there, you know, to back them or bail them out or anything like they, like, you know, Clinton would have, or like they've done in the past. So I'll bail out the banks again. So I said, and I'll say it again, because I've said this to you guys too. What if, you know, his 2 terms are up? Now Don Jr.'s in there. Donald Trump Jr. Hey, he's going to run. And after seeing what his dad did, oh, we're absolutely going to vote for him. Well, there's another 8 years. The elite, then what? What are the elite going to do? I mean, they may have lost the control that they've been able to have this whole damn time for hundreds of years even, throughout history. And because of where we are, advanced society as far as, you know, knowledge, everyone's educated. You know, there were times when people couldn't read and write, and like, you know, everyone's generally educated, you know, and we have the internet, we share information back and forth. Like, they, you know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right? Or you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And as we're seeing right now with these dirty politics and these fake poll crap, and I'm pissed off. You saw how I was a little pissed off on that video I did. You know, effing CNN. We used this polling company who used 32% Democrats, 26% Republicans in the poll, and 43% independent or other. And the other, I'm here to tell you, the other is more Democrats, so that they can safely use that wording and tell you. Freaking criminals, man. Effing criminals. But it's not working. It isn't working anyways. The people are waking up. The information is being transferred across the planet through the internet, and we're not buying it anymore. So with that kind of thing happening, how can people continually be tricked and lied to and led astray? I know there's people out there, but again, look at Gillum. Gillum had a rally that was identical to Hillary Clinton. Several hundred people showed up, you know, slightly better than Hillary did, in a gymnasium. In a gymnasium. Meanwhile, the Republicans, I mean, they're just selling out stadiums. Trump showing up, you know. But you know, the polls show Gillum is up a few percentage points over DeSantis. So when November 6th comes, and they get the floor wiped with them, the Democrats, and I say again, a couple guys at work, guys, the polls again? The polls got it wrong again? And not only again here in Florida this time, instead of like the president, you know, or just the state, whatever, but the whole country, just like last time. All the polls across the country got it wrong. That's funny. Because CNN's paying for the polls on their buddy company to give them the results that we want. Then they spread it, and CNBC spreads it, everybody spreads it, and says, oh, look, the polls are showing this. And we all sit back and used to think, oh, well, why do I need to even vote? You know, guy's not going to win anyways. I'm not going to go stand in that line. The hell with that. But now people are saying, I'm pissed off. I'm angry. And I will stand in that damn line because I'm mad. You're freaking lying to me, and I'm pissed off, and my guy is going to win. And you're not going to tell me anything different with the polls. So this time around, the second time in a row, when they get it wrong, You think CNN's losing viewers now? And guys like Mark Dice are increasing manyfold his viewers on YouTube? 1.3 million and climbing? You're going to see him go crazy high, and you're going to see CNN and that whole system crazy die, so to speak. But they have nothing else. They can't come out and say, you know what, let's change the way we're doing things. Let's actually be reporters. Let's actually do news. They don't even know how. They don't know how, because they've never done it. They've never even done it. So they don't know how. So what do? Guys, we have no other tricks in the trick bag. You go out and talk about Donald Trump. You go bring up Stormy Daniels again. You go talk about the deplorable Republican people again. Pocahontas, go do your DNA test. It's like turning on TV at night. There's nothing on TV with hundreds of channels. Nothing on TV. Can't find anything to watch. How is that even possible with that many channels? Oh, there's a couple channels I like to watch. You know, Discovery Channel, whatever, Science Channel, and History Channel. That's it. Like my gold shows and, you know, some of the race shows, you know, street racing shows, whatever. I'd like to watch some of that. But, it's the same thing. You know, all these news channels, and they're all spewing the same crap. And they all get it from Reuters and Associated Press, and they just regurgitate it. You've seen that little video that was floating around the internet where they showed the local news across the country, like hundreds, all repeating verbatim, line for line, word for word. The government says, now that is dangerous for our democracy. That is dangerous for our democracy. And that is dangerous to our democracy. And they're looking very serious at you. You know, that kind of thing is dangerous for our democracy. And when you hear, well, what is that? What are they talking about? Oh, a liberal left agenda they're trying to push to tell you why, you know, listening to Fox News instead of the other mainstream outlets is dangerous to our democracy, although that's not what it was. It doesn't matter. They've held the narrative. They've told you how to think, what to think for so long. And people just, again, we're just not buying it. People are not buying it. They're realizing we're losing here, but they can't change what they do. It's the only game in town. They have no other thing that they can do. So they get to sit back and watch people awake, which was a slow process. Believe me, I know. I've been doing these videos for a long time, and people, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, man. No. Now you talk to people, and the people who used to be the normal people are kind of looked at these days, some of them anyways, as the conspiracy theorists. Like, you know, like I said, a couple of people at work that are really just headstrong, liberal. We're going to get the House back in November, and like, where are you guys getting your information? I know the answer: CNBC, CNN. What are you guys going to say when the polls this time around get the same results as last time? They're fraudulent, and I think this time, because so many people saw what happened last time, and there was plenty of people last time with Trump who still didn't go out and vote because they thought, well, we're not going to get it anyways. And they were surprised, oh my God, he won. So now they realize, oh, I'm going to make sure my vote counts. So the polls doing what they always do. Well, Gillum has a 4-point lead now, and Bill Nelson, you know, Florida, another, you know, congressman has been there forever, needs to get the hell out of there. Little dirtbag. He's both Democrats. Early polling right now are showing they both have a decent lead. Can you imagine hearing that? And then we see how November goes, and it's something like remarkable. 60% to 40%, 65 to 35, or something just ridiculous. Even with all the cheating and fake, you know, fraudulent voting that the Democratic Party will do, and they will do it, and all their strongholds in Florida, which they have a few, they will do it. And we get a ridiculous turnout, or number. The polling companies are going to be so wrong. It's over. It's finished. And it'll be the media's job to tell you. They'll have to come out admit, yeah, the poll, we don't, you know what, Jill, what do you think's wrong? You know what? Why do you think the polls? Because, you know, when Trump got elected, we did see some of this too, but not nearly as bad as we've seen here. These polls were, I gotta say, pretty far off. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe they'll have to use a different company next time because, you know, they're gonna try to now massage you and work you into next time, believe us. And there's not gonna be a next time because the boy who cried wolf can only cry wolf, fake polls, so many times before everyone says, I will never believe your polls. What they would have to do is then be honest with the polls, report honestly what the poll numbers on in the future, the next election, the next midterms, all that stuff, to where we say, hey, you know what, the polls they're actually accurate again. You know, okay. And then the next time they're accurate, and the next thing you know, we're conditioned, you know, in 30 years from now, we're conditioned to say, hey, you know, we can trust the polls again. And then, when that happens, we'll probably start finding out that they start tweaking the polls again, and they start tricking us again, and the polls slowly but surely become inaccurate. Gotta back this old girl up. And they'll try it all over again. But again, I think this is like history being made here, you know? So because of that, I don't know that they'll ever be able to do this again. You know, we got an internet, we've got ways to communicate with each other. We don't have to rely on them anymore. You know, like, it's just gonna be good. So before I crash into someone's car, backing this thing up, talk to you later.